Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to learn about if else's in Python. So be in the video till the end to understand how these conditions work. So let's start it. Basically, if else's, as in the basic English, what we do, what we say, if you give me 5 rupees, I'll give you a chocolate, or else if you give me 10 rupees, I'll give you kurkure. So this was like uh, in the same way the if else's work. I'll try to explain if else's with some examples of by taking some questions, sample questions, so you'll be like good to go. Suppose we are given to design a program which user input some numbers, and we have to say the number is positive, negative, or equal to 0. How will we do that? Okay, let me write the question first. By the way, you can find the questions and every code in the description. I'll make a GitHub repo and give the access of the GitHub repo to you. So please check the description for the codes, and best of luck for your Python journey with me. Let's start it. What is the program? Write a program. Sorry. Just a minute. Yeah. So here is the question. Or equal to 0. Okay. For taking input from the user, what we do, I explained it in the previous video. Please follow the channel so you can get the videos and get the notification about the upcoming videos, and please watch the previous video in which I have explained Python in intro. Basically it was an introduction video about Python, so make sure to watch this that video after coming to this video. Okay, how we take input in Python is we give a variable name. Let's say the variable name is, what are we trying to positive, negative, or 0. So we can write anything, like let's say ABC for now. Okay, the name should be relevant. We'll take care of that in future videos. Name, input function is used to take input from the user. I explained in the previous video. Input, enter a number. Okay, but this this input function takes like strings in input, so we have to change it or typecast it to make it integer. Now it is an integer value, the number is an integer, that's obvious. Okay, so now we have to check whether it is positive, negative, or equal to 0. If we can say that ABC, let's say num, let me change it to num for number. If, just a minute, if num is less than 0. If num is less than 0, if anything is less than 0, what is it? It is basically a negative number. Just print it's negative. Yeah. Okay. Another thing, if I'll explain else's also, but let me give you an overview about that. If num is greater than 0, then print it's positive. The two conditions are fulfilled. If number is less than 0, then it will be a negative number. If number is greater than 0, then it will be a positive number. What the condition left here? Tell me. If number is not less than 0 and number is not even greater than 0, what the number is? The number is equal to 0. We don't have to write the conditions in else's. Okay? So, num is no num, just print number is 0. Let's run the code once. Run Python file, enter number. Let's say 5. It's positive. Okay, that's true. Let's give a negative number. If we can, let me type -2. Its negative number is 0. Here you can find what the problem is. This else is associated with this if. Let me give 0 for once. 0. I'm sorry, not here. Here. 0. Okay, number is 0. But you can see that if we give negative value, once again -5 say, then two statements are being printed. It's negative, which is obvious, number is less than 0. Okay, but after that the flow works like this. The program checks this if, after that this if, and then if this if is not working, the second if is this block is not working, it will automatically executed this block, because it is the else of this if only. This else belongs to this if, so it will be executed directly. So it's giving it's negative here and the number is 0, which is this one. Here is why we've used elif. Also, you can see that if we write just if and many ifs, then every if will be executed. And if we write if and else, then if will be executed, and if it is not true, then else will be automatically executed. For removing this problem, we use elif. Elif stands for else if. If the first one is not true, it will check for the second one, elif. And if the second one is not true, then it will execute the else part. But if we do give if and if, then it will check the first one, okay, and it will check the second one. If we give if and not elif here, but if, it will check the second one also. But in this case, if the first one is true, then the second one will not be checked, because else if this is not true, else if this is true. So the second one will not be executed in what case? when the first one will be right. Now if we give negative value now, like -8, you can see that the output is correct, it's negative. Let's do one more questions for giving you some command over it. Let me comment it. By the way, you can find these codes in the GitHub repo. Please check the description and star it, give a star to the repo, and make a GitHub account if you don't have. If you are trying to learn these computer science things, this programming, you must have a GitHub account. So please make sure that you have a GitHub account, and if not, make it. Now, a very famous example, like if the number is odd or even. Let me write the question. Let me copy this one. Okay, paste it, and write a program to find whether the number entered by the user is odd or even. We'll do the same thing, like we'll take the input from the user, this thing. Let me write it for you. Num 1 say equals int for typecasting it or changing it into what? Integer. Yeah, you are right. Int input, enter a number. Okay, now how can we check that if the number is odd or even? If num %2 equals 0, you can have this braces or remove it as you like. Let me remove it for the sake of, like, this is Python's way. Num %2 equals 0, then number caps lock, no caps lock. I have a problem. I'll correct it, don't worry. I think you might guessed it. Number is even. I'll explain this code, no worry. Num1, we take the input and store it in the variable which is named as num1. We check if num 1% to equals 0. What percent means? Let me explain this. If you modulo, this percent thing is called modulo. If you modulo anything, it will give you the remainder. If you divide anything, like if you divide 5 by 2, it will give you 2, because it will give you a division. But if you want the remainder, like if you divide 5 from 2, then the remainder will be what? 1. Then it will give you the remainder. This modulo function, modulo thing or operator is used to take the remainder. This is obvious. If you divide anything by 2 and the remainder is 0, then obviously, like, the number is even. Else, just write else. You don't have to check anything, because if the number is not even, the number must be what? Number is odd. Let me execute this. Let me clear this first. I think clear command will work here. Yeah. Run Python file, enter number. Let me give a odd number. 3. Number is odd. Good. Run Python file. 88. Number is even. Good. If we give 2, what is 2? 2 is even or odd? 2 is what? Say 2 is even. Yeah. 1 is what? 1 is even or odd? One is the program is working fine. I'll give some questions for your practice, and if you have any problem, you can just comment here or make a like just comment it. I'll reply, and if you want to make uh, like more demonstrated video or like anything you want me to upload, just comment it. I'll surely look on that. Thank you so much.